Before we begin, if you enjoy discovering hidden stories, rare coins, and surprising values from around the world, please subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications, because today's coin may completely change the way you look at ordinary money in your pocket. Take a quiet moment and imagine the sound of a single coin resting in your hand. It feels light, almost ordinary, yet it carries the weight of history, struggle, survival, and identity. Today we are talking about the one Afghani coin dated 1383 from Afghanistan. At first glance, many people dismiss it as a low-value modern coin. But seasoned collectors, especially experienced men who have spent decades around coins, know that the real value of a coin is not only measured in metal, but in story, scarcity, timing, and demand. The year 1383 is not just a number. In Afghanistan, this date follows the solar Hijri calendar, which corresponds roughly to the year 2004 to 2005 in the Gregorian calendar. This was a defining moment for the country. Afghanistan was rebuilding its identity after years of conflict, currency reforms, and economic uncertainty. Coins minted during this period were part of a larger effort to restore trust in national money. That alone gives the one Afghani 1383 coin historical weight that many modern collectors underestimate. Now let's talk about the design, because design is where history speaks silently. The one Afghani 1383 coin carries symbols meant to reflect unity, sovereignty, and continuity. The inscriptions are clear but modest, reflecting a nation trying to stabilize rather than impress. For collectors aged 55 to 65 and beyond, this simplicity often signals authenticity. Coins like this were not made to attract tourists or investors. They were made for daily life, which makes surviving examples with strong detail far more interesting today. Many of these coins were heavily circulated. They passed through markets, shops, and countless hands. That means high-grade examples are much harder to find than people realize. Most surviving pieces show wear, scratches, or fading details. When a collector encounters a well-preserved one Afghani 1383 coin with sharp edges, clean surfaces, and strong lettering, it immediately stands out. Rarity is not always about low mintage, sometimes it is about survival. Another important factor is geopolitical interest. Coins from countries with complex modern histories often gain attention decades later. Afghanistan is one of those places. Collectors around the world, especially in Europe, the Middle East, and North America, actively seek Afghan coins from transitional periods. The 1383 Afghani represents a turning point, a moment when a new chapter was being written. For experienced male collectors, this type of context adds depth and long-term desirability. Metal composition also plays a role. While the one Afghani coin is not made of precious metal, that does not limit its potential value. In fact, non-precious coins from important historical periods often outperform expectations because they were not saved or protected. People saved gold and silver. They spent base metal coins without thinking. This behavior reduces the number of high-quality survivors today. Collectors in the 55 to 65 age group often appreciate coins that tell a story without needing exaggeration. This coin does exactly that. It speaks of resilience, reform, and national identity. It is a reminder of how money reflects the soul of a country at a specific moment in time. That emotional and historical connection is something younger collectors often overlook, but experienced men understand deeply. Market behavior is another key point. Over the years, interest in Middle Eastern and Central Asian coins has steadily increased. As global collections become more diverse, coins like the one Afghani 1383 move from overlooked to sought after. When demand rises and supply remains limited, values can change dramatically. This is especially true when collectors begin competing for the best examples. Condition, provenance, and timing all matter. A coin with a documented history, original mint luster, or connection to an early post-reform circulation batch can attract serious attention. Some collectors quietly hold these coins for years, waiting for the right moment when awareness catches up with rarity. This patient approach is common among seasoned men who understand that real value often reveals itself slowly. There is also the factor of generational collecting. Many men in the 55 to 65 age range are thinking about legacy. They collect not just for themselves, but for their children or grandchildren. A coin like the one Afghani 1383 is an excellent conversation piece. It opens discussions about world history, economics, and cultural survival. These are the kinds of objects that gain meaning over time, not lose it. Now consider scarcity in top condition. While millions may have been minted, only a tiny fraction remain in near-perfect state today. Those few examples become the benchmark for value. When collectors realize how difficult it is to find one without heavy wear, competition increases. This is where surprising valuations begin to appear, often shocking those who once ignored the coin. Another overlooked aspect is regional hoarding and loss. Many coins from Afghanistan during this period were lost, melted, or removed from circulation during later changes. That silent reduction in numbers is rarely documented but strongly felt in the collector market. Experienced collectors understand this phenomenon and watch for coins from unstable periods very closely. The psychological appeal is also important. A small coin with a humble face but a powerful backstory creates curiosity. Curiosity leads to research. Research leads to demand. Demand leads to value. This cycle is something long-time collectors recognize instantly. The one Afghani 1383 fits perfectly into this pattern. For viewers who have collected coins for decades, this piece represents something familiar yet underappreciated. It is not flashy. It does not shout. It waits patiently for those who understand what to look for. That quiet confidence is often a sign of future significance. As global numismatics continues to mature, collectors are moving beyond traditional Western coins. They are exploring currencies that reflect real human stories of change and survival. Afghan coins from the early 2000s are increasingly part of that exploration. The one Afghani 1383 stands at the center of this shift. Now imagine holding one example preserved almost perfectly, with strong details and minimal handling marks. Imagine future collectors searching for this exact type, struggling to find one that matches its quality. That is when value discussions change completely. What was once considered small becomes significant. And now, let's talk about the number everyone waits for. Based on extreme rarity in top condition, historical importance, global collector demand, and long-term scarcity, exceptional examples of the one Afghani Afghanistan 1383 coin have been discussed by collectors with values reaching up to $550,000.